Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and with me is Connor.
Hey everyone.
Let's talk about Arrow, Season 4, Episode 9, the mid-season final. Full spoilers, as always, for the episode we're talking about, and obviously the show up until this point, because, well, duh. The episode's called Dark Waters, and the IMDb description reads as follows. Oliver moves against Hive, Malcolm goes to see Thea, leaving her with a warning. Damien Dark retaliates at Oliver's house party. That is not inaccurate, it's just the grammar's pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's kind of a really weird description.
Because it probably sounded like I was pausing in the middle there because I was sort of like seeing what I was reading, but I wasn't. There was legitimately a pause in the sentence. So, whatever. I will say this: Arrow tends to be at its best when there's like a serious like action movie style crisis
Yeah,
going on,
definitely.
and a good chunk of this episode was that. So, I'll give it that. There was some good stuff on that point of view of things. Damien Dark is a pretty good villain. So this wasn't a bad episode actually.
No, I had some issues, but for the most part, it was pretty enjoyable.
I would say it's one of the better ones of the season. It's there was high stakes. There was, but I think first of all though, the the end of the previously on reminded us of the scene that they showed at the start of the season. You know, the 6 month jump. It was like 6 months from now, and it's like
Yeah,
Oliver standing at a grave, and Barry comes to visit. And because they showed that in the previous one, I'm like, all right, well, I guess whoever's dead is dying in this one.
I don't buy it.
Oh no, I fully expect there to be a swerve of some sort. For a fact, even someone in the show who did die and was dead for over a year still managed to find their way back. So,
It's just the fact, even if that wasn't the case, and that there wouldn't be fan outrage at this particular
how about
death,
this then? How about this then? How about the fact that the last mid-season final also ended with a main character dying, only to be completely like,
disregarded the next episode.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
yeah, no, but this one is especially where they just set up a new plot line with her last week, with the whole her
That's
reaction
true,
to,
yeah.
to to Oliver's secrets.
So even from a writing perspective, we know this can't possibly be true. So
Yeah.
I don't know why you beat around the bush when we were talking about it, but yeah. So Felicity gets shot at the end of the episode and appears to be dead, and they also teased it throughout the episode because there's a moment when you think they're getting gassed, and there was no way they were going to gas
Yeah, why the hell
Felicity.
did the gas take so long for that? Like, that first guy who went in there was dead in like 2 seconds. They were there for like 20 seconds just chilling in there. It's like,
Yeah,
shouldn't you be dead?
but you know what, writers, you can give us your threats all you want, but we're not going to buy that you're going to kill Diggle, Felicity,
And Thea in
and
one
Thea
go.
at the same time. If you did, I would happily say you had balls. I would happily say that.
I'll be honest though, it was worth it just to see Dark praising Hitler and the Nazis for advancing the gassing technology so that he has it now.
Well, he's that
Which is
kind of
amazing.
character, isn't he? No, like, I thought like as soon as Oliver had the idea to just out Damien Dark after the shooting at the start, I'm like, okay, he's going to retaliate, and him actually just sauntering into his like party. Um, well, it was a little bit Dark Knight actually, first and foremost.
Yeah.
But no, that was fine, and the fact that he took like half the people he knew, also fine. They almost could have used this as an episode to actually build what's her face, Laurel, as an actual reasonable hero.
Yeah, but why would they do that when they can just call him Merlin?
Well, see, that's what they did, but
Exactly.
it would have been smarter to
Yeah.
not do that. It'd have been smarter to use her.
But at least like that they made an excuse as to why they didn't do that, because he would have just put together that, oh, no Green Arrow, he must be the Green Arrow.
Oh yeah, it made sense why they did
Yeah.
that, but I'm just saying, had I been writing this, I would have used it as an opportunity to try and give her a moment to shine and try and give her a moment to
I'm not
be
sure
the
she
hero.
deserves one at this point.
Well, she doesn't, but that's not.
I wouldn't even bother. Just kill her. Let's hope she's in the grave.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that though. Also, I love the fact that they put every other fucking character in jeopardy, but she's safe.
Which makes it more likely that she is the one in the grave. They're teasing all the others. They're not teasing her. It'll be a swerve out of nowhere.
That would be the best outcome. Although, it wouldn't really explain why Barry would come all the way here to check the grave.
I think he just came to support Oliver because he can't have been that close to whoever it was because he didn't come to the funeral, and he apologised for not going to the funeral. But if that was Felicity, he'd have gone to the funeral.
You know, we're debating this, but I don't really care. I honestly don't give a shit who's dead.
Someone is, and that's all that matters.
I really don't care. Oh dear. Flashbacks were awful, as per usual.
Oh god, yeah. Why was there a shark?
Do you know, it's funny because at the end of that one flashback, I was like, was that a shark? Because it just sort of flies. It just sort of swims past quickly.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, was that a shark? Or was it like a really small submarine? Like, I didn't see what it was properly. And then in the next flashback, he just sort of washes up on shore. Oh, a shark bit me. That might have been a fun scene.
Yeah, just all that underwater stuff looked really bad. Like when he was swimming away and back forward, and it just didn't look good at all.
I don't know. So, I was sitting at a distance. I was lying on the couch watching it. Yeah. Whatever. Those flashbacks are terrible though.
Yeah, I'm not going to defend them.
They advance at such a snail pace, and I hate the character that's like the antagonist in them just now. The guy with the beard who's just hates him. Like,
I literally don't even know his name.
I don't know his name either. I just the whole thing is just not
Beardy with gun.
Beardy with gun. Yes, that's who he is. God. Yeah, yes, I mean, it was an okay episode. It was just pacing was a little bit strange at times, but it did keep up quite fast, which was nice. Now you did say back when they introduced this idea that you were dreading when Felicity's mum and Detective Lance.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, to be fair. They didn't do too much with it. It wasn't good, but
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird though. I feel like they kind of like Felicity's character didn't kind of sync up with what we last seen of her in the previous episode.
Yeah, it was really bothering me.
Because she seemed like so excited about the engagement ring, and like, obviously she was pissed at him when she thought that he changed his mind, but then she was really happy about getting proposed to. But none of it, particularly at the start, because I mean you could argue that later on when stuff happened, okay, she's been through turmoil, so things have changed. But at the start of the episode, she is so excited about that engagement ring, and at the end of last week, she was like had that look in her face, like he's lying to me.
Yeah, it just didn't. And then it was kind of even following on from that. Like you've just found a ring that, and then obviously he's not lied to because he's not done anything, and you know that's been there for 3 months. Surely that would be more annoying on top of last week's stuff than well, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a thing, and but yeah, Damien Dark was pretty good in this episode. He was suitably evil. And as much as I don't really care about most of the characters in Arrow, they did a decent job of at least presenting a threat and putting him into a corner where he felt helpless. Because they felt helpless at the end when the cars surrounded them and like they all came out of the machine guns. I mean, you knew it was going to happen. Whenever this show shows you a scene in the back of a limo, you know they're getting shot at.
Or stabbed.
So yeah, I guess it was fine.
Yeah.
It was a fine
someone is a
episode.
fan of the Avengers film.
Who?
The exploding arrow. It reminded me a lot of Hawkeye with Loki.
That's true.
Literally like stopping in midair and then just what is that it? And then it just explodes. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm so used to them stealing from the Nolan Batman films that I didn't.
Oh yeah, well I noticed that as well when his detective work, when he was just running around beating up the ghosts, going where are they basically.
Yeah. I wasn't even talking about this episode specifically. It's just the show is in general stolen from those movies like repeatedly over the course of its run. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's a not bad mid-season final. The funny thing is, though, is I felt this way about the last mid-season final, right? And
That was probably the strongest point of last season.
it probably was.
We had the crossover and then the mid-season finale, and it was not bad. Like it was.
Right, but the problem is even mid-season final last year, I was like, well, they're going to retcon this immediately when it comes back, and I feel that way this year. Doubly so because they did it last year.
Yeah, at least last year I thought they were going to use it as a way to introduce the Lazarus Pit, and I was like, okay, I'll be alright with it.
Which they didn't, and then had a Lazarus Pit anyway.
That was what was more annoying.
Which is fucking stupid.
If they'd gone the Lazarus Pit route, I wouldn't have been so annoyed. Like, because at least that would have been working it in naturally. Like, okay, he's dead, let's kind of bring him back that way. But then they just decided he wasn't dead at all.
No, he had a bad fall and a little bit hurt.
He got stabbed and fell off a cliff, but he's fine. It's cool, whatever. Just a couple of weeks in a hut with a few herbs, and it's all good.
I don't know. I think when it comes to Arrow these days, I feel like when it does one thing interesting, I feel like there's another four things pulling it back.
Yeah. Again, I felt this was a little bit more fun. Like maybe they've learned something from the Flash writers last week when the Flash writers handled the characters. Merlin like walking into the lair again, being like, "This is easier to break into than your last place." And I feel like Thea said something amusing at some point as well.
Did she?
I feel like she did, but I can't remember what it was now.
Okay.
But there was something she said that I thought that was moderately amusing.
I'll take your word for it. I did appreciate Merlin referring to Laurel's outfit as a bondage outfit.
Yeah, that too.
And that was good.
He brought a lot of humour into the episode in general, actually.
Yeah, did a bit. Yeah, even his quip about I've got enough father-daughter troubles in my life, good luck. Odd bit of bonding for two people who had a gun to each other's head like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it was fine. I don't know. Arrow...
It's Arrow.
Yeah, you defend it far too much.
I do. But then, it's because I really like Season 2, and I think it could be good again. It could be that level if they just fix
Season 2 is overrated, though. I don't even see what you see so great about Season 2.
I think it's really strong, but, whatever.
Alright, that's us. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So, that's Arrow Season 2, Episode 9. The last one before Christmas, as you can tell, because there was Christmas trees in this episode. That's usually a sign that it's the mid-season break. And it'll be back sometime in January, so we will continue our reviews, although we should be joined with a third person to make them a bit more interesting and lively. Someone who's used to even worse. That's your hint. That's your hint. Alright, so that's Arrow's review for this week.